Mr. Matthew there giving us his perspective on things, but now we're trying to get someone else's perspectives, and we have Mr. Washington Usifo, former member, Edo State House of Assembly, joining us right here in the studios. Thank you so much for being with us, Mr. Washington.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
All right,
Good
so
morning,
you heard a lot of things that he had to say this morning.
Yes, I did.
And you were tapping the table, shaking your legs. What are your thoughts?
You know, because I think I respect him, well-respected fellow son of Edo, but he shot himself and almost missed it, and perhaps opened the vista for Edo people to see. Now, you cannot say when you have crisis in your party, it will not affect you, especially when you owned up in one breath that you, whereas in the largest senatorial district of Edo State, as it were the Edo South, you were the ticket holder for the PDP in the last senatorial election. And because you had that crisis, you said that was exactly what they did. You know, these groups, you know, of PDP who worked against you, and that was how you failed and you lost. Now, how do you now reconcile it? That when you didn't reconcile the irreconcilable differences that led to you losing that election in the largest part of the political space of Edo, which is Edo South, and for which you are still nursing your wounds and injuries today, and you are the chairman, campaign council of an election, a very important election, to this, your political party, that irreconcilable differences is still lingering on. And it's even worse still now. And you are pretending that it will not affect your party. The truth is that, let's face it, it's gone from worse, bad to worse. At the end of the day, you know, it was an agreement. Let me tell you, it is a journey. There is nothing wrong, you know, for those that are wrong to ask that there should be some right made to them. You know, we know, for real and for evidence and for fact, that Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, was given the ticket, and Matthew Dokeve, who just spoke now, was also a member of the All Progressives Congress. Okay? He left with Godwin Obaseki from APC to the PDP. And I'm hearing like, how will they trust this legacy group, the PDP, his own party members who are leaving now or resigning from the party, haven't failed to reconcile the differences? They are now probably looking at another political party, or they have the right to make that decision. And he is saying that nobody will trust them. You see, for us in APC, we will be very glad if they come and work with us. And the reason is clear. Now, we were victim of Godwin Obaseki high-handedness, disloyalty, and betrayal. And we thought that having done same to PDP, to APC, for which case the 14 House of Assembly members were excluded from inauguration. You know the story. Until today, that section lapsed, and we never had the opportunity to speak for our people or represent our people. It has never happened before anywhere in the world, not even during the military junta. But it happened in Edo, no thanks to Godwin Obaseki and his cohorts. Today, he moved from APC. He went to PDP. When we drove him out of APC, because of this same character of divisiveness, he found shelter in PDP. I would have thought, reasonably so, that if you did something and people began to call you an ingrate, you know, all you needed to do in another platform was to display or demonstrate, fight to do it, that it is not in your nature, meaning you push the ball to the APC court, that it was rather the APC who gave you that name and that name wasn't yours. But what did he do? He plied that trade, did even worse to PDP than he did to APC. Who are the people he's calling that these people are leaving? They don't have electoral value. The same people who gave him umbrella and gave him shelter when he was driven out from the APC. He has done worse things to them. Now, everybody, what were they asking for? They said, if you are coming to our party as a governor, give us the ticket of the deputy governor. He didn't. Now, having won the election, give us the position of the SSG. He didn't. Okay, give us the chief of staff. He didn't. And at the end of the day, he took everything. Okay, they still managed to be working with him because all that he gave it to, and those that are still there today, are those who followed him from APC to the PDP. And the question is, what was in a merger of a sort, or in an agreement to work together of a sort? What was the benefit of those? As at today, nothing. Then they left there. There was a contestation to go to the House of Assembly, the National Assembly, one of which he also contested and he lost. Okay, then at the end of the day, what was given to this same legacy group? The original owners, the aborigines of PDP. Again, nothing. 24 seats of the House of Assembly, nothing. The senatorial seat, nothing. Anyway, then that, as if that was not enough, that angered them further, infuriated them. And at the end of the day, they went to court, and the court made a pronouncement, and the election happened, and he lost. Anyways, that was the outcome of. Now, as if that was not enough, a third phase, again, which was the local government election, which again was in shambles, which rather than selection, they went ahead. Another 18 seats of the local government, the vice chairman, the secretaries to local government, the councillors, the 192 ward councillors are not as it were. Again, nothing for the legacy group, the owners and of the party. If you were the one, what would you do? I think what happened was that they just went to their party, used government powers to chase them away, and took over their party. That is like speculation, and that is like land grabbing, and it doesn't make sense. And they are saying, when there's a wrong, there must be remedy. And when those remedies are to be followed and it is not quick in coming, they can take, they can take the whatever position that will help them to fight for justice. And I think there's nothing wrong about that. That's what they are doing. And to also say that they are harvesting people from the APC, it is better for us to tell ourselves the truth.
Listening to a lot of things that he has said and other members of the PDP who've been on this program, you get the feeling that everything is fine. You know, come September, we have our candidates, the elections are going to go on. All these are distractions that we're having to deal with, and we will overcome them. What do you think is going to happen when the elections actually happen?
It's okay to hope. It's okay to hope. It's okay to hide your sicknesses and diseases.
You think they are hiding their sicknesses and diseases? What if they're correct? What if these are just distractions, fifth columnists, people trying to, disintegrate the party, trying one plan or the other?
As I said, as a member of the fourth estate of the realm, investigative journalism is part of your training. Looking at the person you were seeing, he's a fine gentleman, okay? But you could see there was contrast between his face and the content of the heart. I know him very well. You need to see him in the brightest.
We're not in a position to be able to make those kind of judgments. How can you tell that his face and what he's saying are not the same thing? You can't make that judgment.
Let me tell you something. I've been in this struggle for 8 years. I was there when Godwin Obaseki came. We sponsored him. When he dealt with us as members of the House of Assembly who never had the opportunity to be inaugurated, no thanks to him, I was there. I am still there. I also participated in the process to contest to become governor. Thank God one of us is there. He got the ticket now. But you see, parties will always have reasons to disagree. It's normal. But what is important is how you deal with these disagreements. A little this way and a little this way. There's something wrong if persons
So what kind of concessions should the PDP be making? Because these internal conflicts exist and we're seeing it play out.
For me, if what they wanted was to have a taste, for instance, again, what they just did now, Aswan Godalo was, I can't say because I'm not a member of the party, but what is out there is that he was never a member of the party. And in any case, we are from Edo State, we know ourselves. Now, as of today, who is the candidate of the party?
They say Aswe.
They say Aswan Godalo. Who is Aswan Godalo? He was never a member of the PDP we're talking about.
They voted him in the primaries, sir.
I'm going there.
They voted him in the primaries.
I'm coming. You need to get this background. What are the issues? They are saying Aswan Godalo, beforehand, 2 years before now, was already penciled to be the flag bearer of PDP. And they are saying, you didn't give us a fair chance, the governor, to contest. And you know his deputy governor, the then deputy governor, Philip Shabu, he has his case in court and all of that. Now, that man was contesting. He dealt with him and frustrated him out of the race. So with Aslam Ojezwa, Barrister Aslam Ojezwa was actually the then APC chairman who left that position, left with him to the PDP, and became a floor member, giving him support. He was also interested in contesting that election to get the ticket of the PDP. Okay? Given that they fought together and they made huge sacrifice for him. What happened? Again, he was frustrated. A lot of them. Now, the question is that who is also the deputy governor, the candidate today? The deputy governorship candidate for the same PDP is one of those who followed him from APC, okay, to PDP, who is incidentally also emerged as the SSG, who they also didn't want when they were talking about this sharing. It's a case of injustice meted on the original owners of the home. That is it.
Let's get Ayo to weigh in on this. Ayo.
Thank you, Kayla. You know, Mr. Usifo, all I've heard from you and Mr. Edo APC is about the party, the interests of certain political party members, and not the interest of the people. And that's a little troubling. Generally, I mean, it's only natural for any political party to say the struggle we're having is in the interest of the people. You will say the same thing as the other fellow will say. But all we hear is what the party members, what this party or what that party wants to do. How do these issues that we are discussing, how do they affect the lives of the people of Edo State who will get a governor by November?
Well, I didn't hear what you mentioned from the beginning, but I'm sure you're talking about Edo people as the centerpiece of Edo politics and whatever is happening there right now. Yeah, governance, you can't, as an individual, you can't assume the role of leading the people without coming through political parties. And it is tried, even in law, that the foundation for contesting these positions, political positions, are settled in black and white in either in laws, guidelines, or rules, right, as it were, whether of INEC or the Electoral Act or the parties themselves. Now, what do people want? They're looking at everybody. You could be the best, but at the end of the day, you have a duty to follow the law. For instance, parties who cannot respect their internal rules and guidelines, how much can they really offer the people? When you have mastered the arts of navigating your route through shortcuts to get to your destination, believing that what is important is ultimately you getting there, not how you get there, you miss it. You cannot really do for the people, provide for the people, because you won't be representing the law. If you have mastered the art of shortcomings, I guess you will also bring that in governance when you get there. And what is happening now, I also heard him when he was saying, attempting to be blaming the woes of PDP on other political parties and talking about the All Progressives Congress and even praising the president to high heavens. Yes, the president is a Democrat. You can't take that away from him. But the truth is that this same president, while as leader of the All Progressives Congress, intervened, and tried to push Godwin Obaseki, the governor of Edo State, to inaugurate the 14 members. What did they do? These same progressives and Democrats you're talking about today told you that it was undemocratic not to inaugurate 14, representing 14 constituencies, 14 members representing 14 constituencies of the state out of 24. What did he do? He said, bullshit. And he responded by saying, Edo not be Lagos. Meanwhile, the section 91 of the Constitution says there shall be a house shall not be called a house, if it is less than 24 and not more than 40. And what happened in Edo? They had 9. They ran that house for 4 years with 9. That is still something that is on their neck today, and Edo people are watching, and Edo will respond appropriately. Now, when you talk about whether Edo is suffering, why will Edo not suffer? Go to Edo as it is today. In the areas of development, when there's flood, Edo is under. We did all this to deceive. We have done the water storm master project to take water away from the concentration of pools in Edo when it rains. But 8 years after, go to Edo, when it rains, Edo is threatening to be submerged. All they needed to do was just to
Mr. Usifo.
Nobody is de-sitting.
Yeah.
In the education system is grounded.
Well, the conversation is endless. All the issues that you're raising, they're definitely endless, but in another 10, 15, 20 years from now, the people who are in government in Edo State today may not be there. A good number of them may have moved on to other things or even outgrown the ages through which they can, contest elections at whatever level. So it will be that of the young people. Now, I'm just wondering how this entire process, BDP today, APC tomorrow, Labour Party another time, is mentoring or leading to any form of significant transfer to people. What are the young people learning? How to do or how to not do? How are we preparing through the kind of issues that we're having in Edo State or any other state at that today? How are we preparing the young generation, a younger generation of Nigerians for political office, for political contestations as you said, according to the law, if this is the kind of things we show them every single day?
Well, you know, it's quite unfortunate. The rules are laid down, like I said earlier on. If you follow the law, you know, as it were, it will lead to a situation where there will be justice, there will be equity, there will be fair play, and the society will be better. That would be the best way for the learners to learn, and also when it gets to their time, they will also do well. But I think I want to recommend that it is better to stick with the provisions of the law. For instance, the quagmire which they led themselves into today, you know, arose from a situation where, because I also listened to him when he was saying what he was saying, that the lawyers are dealing with it. Okay, it's fine to say that, you know, but as chairman of the campaign council, he ought to know where the problems really lies. I think from facts and evidence, on the 4th of February, you know, the party released its guidelines. When I talk about the party, I'm talking about the PDP. You know, pursuant to the electoral act for the purposes of selecting the organizing primaries, which will lead to the emergence of a candidate. You know, for the PDP, what they did was that election was done, the Congress was done, and 381 persons representing 127 wards and 12 local government of Edo State, you know, challenged the outcome of that congresses, not the primaries, and they challenged it under Section 82 of the Electoral Act. Okay, now they went to court. Now, when they went to court, what they were asking for, that their rights, you haven't won that election, the Congress, their right has been breached, because when the final result was released, contrary to what was signed, you know, by members of the electoral committee set up or approved and set up and approved by the PDP, which in that case is the second defendant, you know, there was no contrary opinion as to whether those who signed those results that you know, suggested that these 381 delegates, yes, one ad hoc delegate won. There was no contrary opinion to it. However, they went to court that you cannot purport to exclude us, having so won, in the delegate to be delegates in the selection process of who will emerge as the candidate. And the court, in its wisdom, so seeing that there was merit in the case, asked that they should show cause. The PDP should come and show cause why they should not.
Well, here we've heard all of this.
Yes.
In fact, we had the lawyer of the PDP here as well not too long ago. They said this doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
They said it doesn't matter.
Why are they? Okay, what are they doing?
They're just going to appeal it. They said
what are they appealing then?
It doesn't matter, but they're going to appeal it.
You see, let me tell you something. And I can tell you, if they continue on the line of argument, they will fail. It will produce the same result, and I'll tell you. Because the judge, the learned judge, in his wisdom, made a fine distinction between provisions of Section 82, under which the originated summons, or that case, the plaintiff came, and Section 84, which the defendants are relying on, that to reduce it to just a matter of internal affairs. And the justice is, the learned justice said, this is not a matter of primaries. It is a matter of pre-primaries for those who contested as delegates who were eliminated from the process, and they have a right, haven't been breached, they have to come to court to ask under Section 82. Well,
definitely, this is a conversation that is going to continue for quite a while. We're going to be watching all of this unfold. But I want to thank you so much, Mr. Washington Usifo, for being with us on the program, and good luck with everything you have to do.
Thank you.
Ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
Business Morning is up next. Stay with us. We'll be right back.